You ready?
I'm ready.
John, how's it going?
It's good, Greg.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, my friend.
Today
Been a busy man, so have I.
Yes, it's been a long time.
Both been very busy.
Since we've been together, huh?
I've been donating time to charity, and you've been busy doing your usual traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Marcus says in his podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah,
and then we
man.
got, yes, so that's fun. But I'm glad we had to put this together. For all our fans out there. We got like 50 plus now or something like that.
Yeah, we're getting famous.
We're getting famous. And when we got 100, dude, we gotta have a real party. A real party.
I wonder what we'll do.
I don't know. Gotta celebrate though.
So, first of all, I'd like to thank our personal chef for these beautiful Ukrainian potatoes.
Right.
They're very good.
This is very exciting.
Yes, Slav Ukraine.
I'm gonna put a little fresh cracked pepper on mine here. Would you like some too, sir?
Please.
Let's see here. Everything is better with fresh cracked pepper.
Yeah. So,
thank you for the water too, sir.
My pleasure. So, what's been going on with yourself? What you been up to?
Well, so I've been busy doing. I decided to do a little charity work for an organization I like that I help donate to open the facility where they are, called the Forge Greensboro.
What is it?
It is a makerspace. Whatever you're into, 3D printing, laser etching, welding, sewing, embroidery, all this different kind of stuff. You can be a member. You get access 24/7. You go in there. And so I went and approached them. I said, what can I do to help you guys out? New guy running the place.
Forge?
Yes, Forge, Greensboro. They'll even like make things to help fix stuff for you. There's like a board where you can request them to make things for you. It's really an interesting place. And in fact, some big news. Toyota.
We're not on news yet. We're still talking about the Forge.
Well, this is big news about the Forge. So they actually had a bunch of news organizations come and share with the area that Toyota has chosen the Forge to help develop skills for people that will be working at the battery factory down in the Greensboro Liberty Toyota battery factory. So the apprentices will be doing work there, and one of the things they're doing is they're engineering ways to make the place function better, right? Because these are going to be
the warehouse,
yeah,
right?
the facility, yeah. So they're going to be, these are early hires. They're expected to be managers of the facility and so forth, but they have to have technical skill. So they're working with GTCC and that, and then there's some other people that actually been hired, and they had come in and done some consulting stuff. So anyway, so me, I was like, I'm just gonna. I always like the place, and so I decided I'm gonna do what I can do. So I just helped them out, and basically I did a lot of grunt work. To be honest with you, the place has been there a while. I cleaned it up and painted some walls and just stuff just to make it better. Now I'm gonna try to do some fundraising and maybe help them get some equipment they need over the next 6 months or so. But I'm going into the fall with retail. It's gonna be a little tough. So next spring I want to do some work.
So why are you so interested in the Forge? What about it?
Making things. Remember, I'm Mr. Made in USA. It's about making things. And there's some businesses that have actually been started out of there and so forth. And so I just think it's a really cool place. And I just wanted to, I don't have enough time to be a member. It would be a waste of money.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I can give you 4 Thursdays in August. It's the slowest time of the year in retail. I did get behind a lot of stuff, but it was like, I think it was a worthwhile experience. So there you go. That's me. That's what I've been doing, other than checking out some cool new restaurants.
So there's a cool new restaurant that opened up. They had a soft opening this evening in Greensboro.
Correct.
What's the name of it?
Yokai. So Yokai apparently is this mystical Japanese figure that brings on positive energy, and so this is sort of a themed to be sort of a Japanese sake bar, doing some cool mixed drinks, and they happen to serve food. They do ramen, bao, Korean double fried chicken, stuff like that.
Do they have cream of some young man?
They do not.
All right.
It's a little bit out there in the Chinese thing.
Oh, okay.
They do bao, though.
What's bao?
It's a dumpling. Excuse me. It's a soft little folded bun. It is kind of a Chinese inspired thing. So it's a very soft bun, and you put a filling in it, kind of like a taco.
Okay.
Be like a Chinese taco.
How's your mom and dad doing?
Mom and dad did fine during the hurricane. They got lucky. The hurricane went north of them.
It blew past them.
Blew past them. Yep. No problems there.
Pun intended.
Yes. Good pun. Mom was concerned enough. She bought herself some battery backups for all her tech devices. So if she loses power. Then...
Speaking of battery backup, have a plug. It's not made in
darn
USA.
Good potatoes.
Yeah.
Neither are hers. These are
They're
fantastic.
Good. So, have a plug.
Okay.
However, it's not made in USA, so I want to apologize.
You plug it anyway.
In advance. Apologize in advance. So then, there's a company called Anker. A-N-K-E-R.
Yeah.
Anker. And they have a lot of charging stuff, whether it's charging, plug in your wall, or battery packs.
Cables and stuff too, yeah.
Cables, and they also have these suitcases you can carry around, these small little cases in different sizes. And
good wine too.
Yeah, it's the
Thank
J.
You, Greg. The J. J Chardonnay. Very good. Thank you.
So, my pleasure.
It's not Chardonnay, it's a Fumé Blanc.
Pinot Gris.
Pinot Gris. Pinot Gris. Very
so,
delicious.
Yeah, so this Anker, you can hook up solar panels to it and charge.
One of the ones my mom ordered, you can do that with. You have to order them separately, but yes.
Yeah, so I was thinking about buying this system, but I don't really have a need for it. But again, it's one of those things where like, oh, it's so cool. I want it, but what's my use?
Put it on your plane. Never know, you might get somewhere stranded sometime.
Yeah, that's a good idea, right?
Know? It could be an emergency kit on your plane.
That would be a good idea. So you want to talk about news?
Sure. It's big news with John and Greg.
Big news with Juan and Greg. Juan Del Fuego and Greg.
Juan Del Fuego.
So watch this, man. Speaking of airplanes, I have here in my outline here, Delta Airlines had to make a U-turn.
It's got to be funny.
Yes.
Why
Atlanta to Barcelona.
Okay.
Okay. They made a U-turn a couple days ago because the passenger had mega severe diarrhea.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So then listen to this.
Do the passengers all get free tickets for the inconvenience?
I hope so.
Me too.
So what they did was they returned. They deplaned the airplane. Installed all new carpet.
Wow.
And sent the passengers on their way. Can you believe that?
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah.
So it was reported that the flight attendant knocked on the door of the captain. The captain opened the door.
Right.
And the flight attendant appraised the
situation. Apprised the situation, I believe.
Apprised the captain of the situation that a passenger had diarrhea on board.
So severe.
Yeah.
That it was all over the place.
You know what the captain said?
What'd the captain say?
No shit. Yes. Oh shit.
Very good.
So he made a U-turn.
How far were they into the flight? Do you know? An hour? A half hour?
I don't know. I had to read.
If they had to go back, I'm guessing it was probably less than an hour.
Right.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Right, because otherwise they would, if they were long on the flight, they'd land in New York or
something. Yeah, because they're going kind of north, probably.
Right. But probably in Atlanta is where they have all of the supplies, since that's the main hub. Since Delta kind of owns Atlanta.
Yeah, they do own Atlanta.
So they probably had the supplies there to get her done.
All right. But if you are typically, because of the way with the rotation of the Earth, and then it's usually shorter to actually go a northern route. So, like you said, if they were an hour or so into it, they probably would have stopped in either in New York or something.
Could you imagine having a passenger on board with mega severe diarrhea?
No.
Because they obviously blew up. Excuse me, I don't want to say that. Probably stunk up the airplane so bad.
Probably.
It was a biohazard.
Probably, and it would make other people want to vomit and stuff.
I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Cannot. That's crazy.
That's a bad situation.
How does that even happen? What did they eat before they got on the plane?
Imagine being the passenger. How
embarrassing that would be. Oh my God, that's like a lifetime embarrassment thing. You don't.
So watch this. So then, of all of the different articles I read, none of them named the passenger. Thank you.
I'm going to give you some more. These are delicious,
yeah, but none of them named the passenger.
They did not. Well, good for them. I'd say that's good for them. You know, that's so embarrassing already.
Because if it were me, it'd be Greg Munning has diarrhea all over the news. Really, that'd be my luck. Somebody had me on TikTok, pooping everywhere.
Yeah,
it had me on TikTok.
I don't know. You have your moments of not great luck, but generally speaking, I'd say you've had a pretty good run at it.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Guess who was at the White House on Tuesday?
Who was at the White House on Tuesday? I know this.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary, that's right.
For the art ceremony.
I did know that. I was trying to think. I knew it was somebody that I should know.
You know what she said when she walked in?
That I do not know.
Where the hell's my office?
Another one-liner. Very good. Do some clapping there. Or a horn thing.
Here.
Or laughing. There you go.
I'm full of it tonight.
Because you're not on that Delta flight.
Exactly. Here's another one. See, some of this news just shows how messed up this country is, how defunct it is.
Yes.
So our friends of the South, Mexico, their Supreme Court just voted today to decriminalize abortion.
Brilliant. A modern world. A modern world.
So then watch this. So
all the rest of the developed world, other than us, have done the same thing.
Exactly. So how is it? So how embarrassing is it that a developing country outclasses America?
It's very disturbing. It is. And the fact that this is a thing anymore in the 21st century is insane.
Here's what's also insane. On the other side of the coin, we're in the same bucket as Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
As far as capital punishment.
Capital punishment, yeah.
And Iran.
Yep. Two of the worst countries in the world for how they treat people.
And we're in the same bucket as them.
Yep.
I think it's embarrassing that...
It is. And Russia.
Yeah, in 2023, you have capital punishment in America.
Yep.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
So often in the history of capital punishment, they actually killed the wrong person. I mean, through DNA and stuff, we're a little bit better now, but still, all that is about vengefulness. The worst punishment in some ways is actually to put them in prison for life.
Even that's a waste of time.
Probably.
It's a waste.
It depends on the scenario, but generally.
Maybe for terrorism, yeah, I understand, but 20 years is enough.
For most crimes.
Think about it.
If you take someone's life,
20 years.
Cruelly, like first-degree murder.
Depends how cruelly.
First-degree murder is pretty rough. Cold-hearted.
If it was a clean hit.
Cold-hearted.
Clean hit.
Yeah. But that does bring up the idea that this guy with the Proud Boys got, 22 years?
He got 22 years.
I think that they're trying to, and the judge is a Trump-appointed judge.
Cuban guy, by the way.
Yep, Cuban guy. I think the rationale is we want to make this so severe no one's ever going to fuck with us again. I think that's the whole point of this. You know, it's like they call punitive damages in when you have non-criminal cases, right? So there's a settlement, and then you have punitive damages, which are usually excessive to try to make sure someone else doesn't do that shit again. I think that's what this is. It's like, you should not be breaking into the Capitol building, ever. For any reason. I think that's the point. I feel, though, on some levels it's excessive in the fact that the people that did, there were people that died, and it was bad, but, you know, as soon as Trump called it off, it was over with. It's done, which is why he should be found guilty. But because he's a former president, he has Secret Service protection for life. They're not going to put him in prison.
He can still be found guilty.
Oh, he can be found guilty, but what are they going to do? Put him in Mar-a-Lago for 25 years?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not an equivalent, though. This dude's in prison.
Right.
And this dude's stuck in house arrest in a luxury
So then watch
resort.
this. So then I think, so if I were the judge, I'd say, okay, you get so many years house confinement, plus you can never ever run for public office.
Yes. Here's my... Right. Yes, I agree with
that. Stop that. All done.
I think that's good. I will say one possible thing that could be healing for the country when this is all said and done, when all the cases are over with regarding to this, if Biden were to come up and say something to the effect of, I'm going to pardon the former president and these people that did these terrible things to America because I want to try to heal the country. I think that we're too partisan, and it's a tit and tat. You know, the House, the Republican-controlled House, wants to impeach Biden now. For what?
For nonsense.
It's nonsense. So I think there's a chance that could reset things.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think you...
I'm just throwing that out there as an idea.
You don't pardon all these people for all these bad things.
Well, I'm more saying Trump. Pardon Trump as long as he can't run for office. Some agreement with that.
Yeah, pardon him as long as he can't run for office. That's fine.
Yeah. That would be the healing thing. That would be the healing thing.
But you know what? I think people are so sour, they don't care about the healing part. There's no healing.
They just say it's because he's so great or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I think people are so polarized. They're like, fuck it.
But how do we unpolarize it? There's got to be it's a pendulum. The history of the world has pendulum swings. There's usually either a world war or something makes everybody come together. We don't want world war. So how do we reset the parameters in a situation without something like that? Why are we helping Ukraine survive? We don't want Putin to get the idea he can just go in anywhere he wants. We're trying to help them stay independent. Ukrainian potatoes. We're celebrating Ukraine's independence.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I doubt he'd do it because you're gonna have so many people telling him not to. But there is a narrative in the center of politics. See these Republicans that, like Republicans against Trump and so forth, like you know, and the more moderate Democrats are thinking this could help with a healing of this partisan divide. I don't know, but as long as he could not run for office, I think it's worth a shot.
Sure. So then I'm okay with the pardon if he can't run for office.
Right. That would have to be a requirement. Yep.
Would you put that in a legal brief as a cock block?
Yes. It is.
I hereby do decree that Donald J. Trump, under the cock block clause,
can live his life in freedom and peace, but he can't ever run for office.
President.
Nope. He has to admit that he lost and he was wrong.
Yes, he has to admit.
Yep. If he will do those things, he's a free man.
What if he admits and then he goes back and says, ha ha ha, I said that so I get my cop block?
I would think that on some level that there's got to be some legal shit for that, but I don't know. I don't even know. People are talking about the 14th Amendment will keep him from winning. I haven't even looked that up. Do you know what the 14th Amendment says?
Yes.
You've looked it up?
Yes. So it's about, it was back in the Civil War, and they made this amendment so anybody who aided in an insurrection or to overthrow the government could not hold public office.
Okay. I think I'd heard that before, but I forgot. Yeah.
So I think he qualifies for that one.
Yeah, I think he qualifies for that, especially if he's found guilty.
But I think you've got to
that'd be hard.
Be found guilty.
Yeah.
But in my mind, he's straight up guilty because I've seen enough evidence.
I mean, just the Georgia case. Find me the votes. That's as guilty as you can possibly be. Find me the votes.
D.A. Willis. So then actually,
Kemp. You're going to go with Kemp, aren't you? Give him credit for standing up?
Yes.
Good, you go with it. Go with it.
Kemp, yes.
Go with it.
And he's a Republican.
Yep.
So I think Georgia's saying, hey, you know what? Okay, so we're Republican, good enough, but country first, party second.
That's Governor Kemp, though. The rest of the state house and stuff in Georgia is freaking nuts. They're the ones that have this new law that allows them to appoint a new DA if they don't like the DA. How is that how is that democracy? But Governor Kemp has said that he will block that.
Yes.
Good
so
for
then
him.
actually, I want to make an observation.
Okay.
So then you and I both are voracious readers of the news.
Yes.
We read a lot.
Hence why we have these conversations we decided to film.
we read a lot of news, okay?
Or video, yes.
Vids.
I said film. So old school.
Vids. Cam.
Ecam.
So watch this. So I read every day probably 50 articles. Just call it 50. That's a fair, honest number.
I'm
50.
close to that.
Call it 50.
I'm close to that.
So, no article has made this observation. And you and I have not spoken about it. So, if you look at the history of America,
okay,
a history that we don't talk about, yes, black people were enslaved, and a lot of
most of them did come here not by their choice.
Right, and so America, certain aspects of America was built on the sweat of slave labor.
Even the Chinese, true? Out west, the Chinese slaves. Yep.
Okay. David Carradine. So, you like that, huh?
I like that.
That shit was quick. So,
that was very quick.
So then here you have presidents that were slave owners. Straight up slave owners, right?
Yep.
And so the black people got dissed for years and years and years. Okay. We had civil rights movement, tried to equal things a little bit, but are we still behind? It depends on the person you ask. I'm not going to debate that.
Right.
But
this is the idea of reparations and stuff.
They didn't get a fair shake in the beginning, right?
No, they didn't.
So watch this. I find it ironic that a black DA is prosecuting a former president of the United States. It's kind of like, okay, this is law, but she's black.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's why
it's kind of like,
I think it's part of the reason that these Republicans in the state house in Georgia are trying to get rid of her. Not only do they not like the fact she has a great case against Trump, I really think it's racist. She's black.
It's probably racism because Georgia has a history of racism.
Yep.
Of course, Jimmy Carter.
Good man.
Not
a great president, but a good man. Very good man.
100% not racist.
Not racist at all.
And he's a product of Georgia.
Yep.
So I don't want to throw dirt on the great people of Georgia.
No, there's a lot of great people everywhere.
Not for a minute.
a lot of great people
But
everywhere.
I find it ironic that we have
Well,
a black
they have
woman.
a black senator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That a black woman
Mm-hmm.
is prosecuting a former president.
Right. Well,
A white former president,
yes.
because we've had a
Well,
black one.
in New York, the state of New York, isn't the DA in New York City black? I think.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're going after him because of the
Yes.
blackness thing. They're saying and which is so insanely ridiculous. But the
They're
Republicans,
doing it without saying it, though, right?
yeah, they're
You
not
can't
saying
say
anything.
it.
They're not saying anything. But they're like, I mean, they do the same thing. If he was Jewish or something, the Republicans have become this Trump-inspired. Anybody that didn't like us is just plain evil. I mean, look at what Trump does. So he hired all the best people when he got in the White House, and yet he hates all of them now because they turned around and told the truth about him.
Yes.
I mean,
that's true.
so that mentality has infected.
Another news brief.
Yep, news brief. All right. Keep me under 30 minutes, Greg.
Judge orders Texas to remove anti-migrant river buoys. Rejects Abbott invasion claim.
Heck yeah. I mean,
What dumb idea is that to put up buoys with razors on them?
I know.
What
You're literally killing people.
Yes. What a dumb idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this is dumb.
And I think you have a better insight into immigrants even than I do, because you have dealt with them much more than me in your life directly in a professional way.
When I worked in the court system.
Yes, correct. Wouldn't you say that most immigrants coming here to America are looking for a better life and they want to contribute to make America better? If you don't want immigrants, then you're not working hard enough, or you're paranoid or something, or whatever it is. Now, granted, we do have this new scenario with these migrant groups coming from like Central America versus Mexico. They've always had the coyote issue with they're doing the deals and people end up dead in these trucks they bring them over in. So there's some problems, and this is why we need to fix immigration. And in fact, Obama and the Senate had a deal done, but Mr. Now I regret being, he now is investing in marijuana companies and stuff. The former Republican Speaker of the House who used to cry.
Oh, yeah.
His name used to cry. He blocked it ever coming from a vote. Otherwise, we'd have dealt with this shit.
His initials are JB.
He used to use
John Boehner.
John Boehner. Yes. He would not bring it up for a vote. The Senate had passed it. The president was going to sign it. And John Boehner would not bring it up for a vote because of political pressure from his donor class, I guess, right? Because that's how they raise money. How did Trump get into the White House? He came down an escalator and said Mexicans are invading us and they're mostly terrible people. They're drug dealers and blah, 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 blah. That's how he started his whole campaign. Then he was going to build the wall that Mexico was going to pay for.
Let's end this on a light note.
Which is absurd.
Let's end this on
But anyways, so I want to end it on a light note, but I just want to say, though,
because you said 30 minutes.
Yes, I just want to. I do want to say, though, that it's good that the court did that, because that's just there's other ways to deal with immigration. So
more logical ways, more humane ways.
Correct.
So on lighter news, Kevin Costner's ex, Christine Bumgarner, ordered to pay $14,000 of his divorce attorney fees.
Good for the judge or whatever. How that happened? Is she
There's a prenuptial agreement.
Okay. All right.
And she's like, no, it doesn't count. Straight up prenup, because his first marriage.
Right. Oh, he was careful, I'm sure.
Right. His wife got straight up paid.
Right.
So his cash flow right now is $1.5 million a month. His cash flow.
Right. From movies that he's
Yellowstone,
done,
all
all
this
this stuff. Yeah. Okay.
1.5 million.
Right.
So then, the judge actually reduced the alimony paid to like
Something reasonable.
$63,000 a year, a month.
A month.
$63,000 a month.
That's not much more than I make in a year, and I have to pay taxes on it.
I'm serious, and she pays no taxes on it.
She's fine. What were they offering her? What was she asking for? Excuse
like
me.
100. Because the kids have
100,
to have,
not more. You sure?
100.
I was thinking it was like 300 or something.
No, it was 100 and some
Okay.
change. It was
All
100
right.
and some change.
But still, that's absurd.
The lawyer requests $175,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's like
which he was giving her
$130,000
$130,000 a month
just to be a nice guy.
Yeah, and they're like, no, 63, bro.
Well, that is due justice right there. He was being a good guy, giving her more money, and what does she do? She has to whine and complain and think, I can use the system. He's going to take care of the kids, man. They're his kids. So he has women issues every once in a while, but almost everybody that knows Kevin Costner knows he's actually a good guy.
I'd marry him.
I met him one time out in Aspen. I was out there. I was in this privileged situation. I was out on a ski trip, and there's a club there in Aspen.
Privileged situation?
Yes.
Because your dad's rich?
Because my dad knew somebody that owned. My dad knows somebody that owned a condo they bought in the '60s, right there in downtown Aspen. They bought it in the '60s for like, I don't know, $65,000, which would have been a lot back then. I don't know if they still own it, but they could probably sell it for like $4 million based on location alone. So yes, privileged. And then a connection through a connection got us into this really exclusive club there. You cannot get in unless you know somebody. And then an attorney, friend of attorney or whatever, got us in. Met Kevin Costner.
How about that?
Dude seemed like a super nice guy.
I bet he
down to earth.
John, I want to thank you, man.
Well, thank you, Greg, for putting this together.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Any last words?
I would say, I'll be the same.
Actually, hot question.
Okay.
Martha Stewart.
Because I can't do Ukraine. I can't speak Ukrainian.
Martha Stewart or Oprah Winfrey?
For public office or for a hookup?
For anything. For anything.
Martha Stewart's pretty hot, but Oprah. I'd pick Oprah for anything other than sex.
I agree. Martha for the hookup.
Yep.
Oprah
for anything else.
Oprah for anything else.
Office, business.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. That would be my hookup. That would be my hookup.
I agree.
It's like Rush. That was an easy one.
All right, man. See ya.
Hey, Greg.
Goodbye.
We'll try to do them more often, guys.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
And be the same.